Alright, so this is Black Bear Guai. He took me quite a significant amount of time to actually beat. So at this point, I think I was like level 20 or something like that, and I haven't actually upgraded a lot of the main character, Wukong, because we just kind of see how far I can still get with this, with using the basic weapon and mostly just the basic outfit that he starts with. The armor is the same, but the face mask I did change. I forgot the name of it, but it's that red kind of Tengu looking mask, which is basically not a lot of upgrades. So I think that was also kind of slowing me down in terms of progress a lot with just kind of the last few bosses, and this one especially, because the Wind King before this guy was tough as well. I found that really challenging to just kind of beat, because I just kept getting clipped. I get clipped for a lot of damage. I could only take, you know, a couple of hits before basically I died. So this guy, Black Bear Guai, took a long time for me to kind of eventually beat. I kind of knew its patterns. I still get clipped, as you can kind of see in the beginning. I got clipped straight away, but then eventually I just beat him. That was all I wanted to, just beat him in some way. So this is the one where I actually won finally. And I did occasionally mix up the spirits that I used. So I used the big-headed baby spirit for this one. I also tried using the poison one at times, but yeah, this is the one that I succeeded with. It was actually a bit frustrating because I was trying to not use as much of my gourd as possible, trying to save that for the fire bit, because again, when he does the second phase where the fire returns to that fire spirit, fire/wind spirit, that's where I'd also get clipped because I'd mistime the dodge for it as well, and it's really kind of become a bit more apparent for me as well. The other thing, I've also been taking a lot of breaks when I play the game, so I forget how to play some of it. It's also the way the game feels like it's got perpetual lag almost, which I know some people have also described online, that it feels a bit laggy at times, and that's just the way this game is designed, and you just kind of have to get used to it. And at this point, you know, you practice so much with it, you're trying it again and again, you get used to it, and then you just forget, right? You have rounds where you just I just forget the dodging timing, the attack timing, then cancel timings and whatnot, so you end up failing the fight. But this one, I finally beat him. I got a few good dodges in. I also got clipped again a few times as well. This is probably I think the first time, maybe the second fight, where I did use immobilize when he turns into this fire spirit. Normally I wasn't doing that. I'd just kind of dodge it and wait, because I started figuring out that time it was fairly forgiving actually for the timing. I would also use a bit of this Guangji or Guangzhou transformation, this firewolf dude. I always find this one a little bit weird to use, because this one feels ultra kind of delayed and laggy depending on like dodging and then cancelling attacks. He's really difficult to use in my opinion, but I used him just to kind of give myself a little bit more leeway, a little bit more breathing space at this stage or late in the game, because by the time I get here I'd often get clipped by the flames even more, because there's a little bit extra range of the flames that he can do. So I'd get clipped and then die, and that was frustrating too. Throughout this whole match though, my wife would kind of be looking onwards, and it was kind of funny because like this and the Black Wind King before this, she hasn't seen me play a lot of games, but now she kind of saw me playing and losing and dying a lot, to the point where she was like, but Wukong as a character in the novel doesn't die this much, and probably she's going to say to her friends that all I do is play games, waste my time, because all I'm doing is dying. Not a good look, but yeah, I'm just trying to persevere here. So I did find it fun, but of course I found it frustrating here and there. But yeah, I managed to beat it, and now from this point I'm going to start upgrading a bit more of the character in terms of the equipment, because I'm using the basic staff here as well, and the armor that's used. I did of course update some of his other stats, like the abilities for his staff. I think this is a smash one that I'm using. I don't really like the pole one. That one I find I'm not really good at using that one yet. This is kind of basic and bare bones. I like it. So I upgraded a little bit of that, and plus the way that it's focus build. So that kind of stuff I've increased a bit with the sparks, but not too much. Like it's a bit here and there, not too much on the armor and weapons, as I mentioned. So yeah, I've tried to keep it fairly bare, not completely bare, just mostly bare. So yeah, I think I did okay at eventually beating this guy up to this point, or every other boss up to this point, with kind of minimal upgrades. So like I said, I'm gonna start upgrading a lot of my stats more carefully, and my build just a little bit more carefully now, because yeah, this was actually challenging to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm going to progress too much more after this. We'll see though. I haven't actually proceeded into chapter 2 after this yet, so I might still try until I get stuck a little bit more. It's just a way that I play games. I don't know why, I just don't like doing too many upgrades in the very beginning until I get to a really big stumbling block, and this pretty much was it for me. Otherwise, yeah, it was just a lot of practice, a lot of repetition with this guy. Just like the other bosses, once you know the pattern, it's just trying to get comfortable with reading what they're planning to do with their, what do you call it, their telegraphed attacks and animations. Is trying to recognizing that, and then getting the timing down, which can be a little bit tricky because he has a few quick swipes, right? 1 or 2 quick swipes, and then he does a lunge attack, and then sometimes he'll either do a butt smash or fall back or do another swipe. So that would take me a lot of time to kind of recognize, and I'd often fail that one as well. When we got to this point, again, I ran out of transformations and all of that stuff, so this is where I was a bit more panicky. I was like, oh man, I might get clipped by the fire. Luckily, fortunately, I didn't, and I still have plenty of gourd left as well, so there I almost panicked again. I got squashed. That sometimes I just messed up the timing on the dodge there, which was a little bit annoying. But finally I did manage to beat him. One last transformation. I'm trying to get him, you know, in the burnt state, but it wasn't really working. Again, I'm not comfortable using this too much. I just need to practice more with this transformation. It's mostly just spamming attacks from me. I'm not a pro player by any means, as you can tell. But yeah, I transformed just to get, again, a bit more breathing room, and then end up smacking him around a couple more times with the pole, and then he's gone, KO'd. Finally, Black Bear is defeated. I can move on to chapter 2 and see the rest of this game. Very good game so far, though. I am enjoying it, but definitely this one was the most challenging boss for me up to this stage.